So, hello everyone. So, in this video, we are going to talk about the remote command Python script, totally using Python programming language, so that we can create remote access to any PC or any laptop. This is for education purposes only, and for those who are doing Python programming languages, Python scripting is one of the most critical thing that you're supposed to know. So in this case, we are going to create a remote shell script. For this, in this case, you can be able to access any PC or any laptop using this particular script, and maybe you are giving out technical assistance to your client or any other thing. So in this case, let me start. I've created this folder, YT. I'll create a file in Python and I'll name this Python file as remote shell dot py. Then after creating that, I'll now say, let me put, or comment out the following. This is for educational purposes only. Then you need to import a few Python packages or features or what we can call libraries for you to be able to execute the following. One will be able to need a socket. This is the socket where you get to access the different ports for the client or the one you want to access or the server. So we can import socket. Let's see whether it's there. To see whether it's there, Control B to build. We don't have any error. I'm using Sublime Text, so it's already installed on the operating system, so it has no error hereby. So then I can say import sub process, then Control S, then Control B. All these packages or libraries are already present in this operating system. In case you find an error, you can just say pip install socket and that. Then we can import system because you'll be able to access any system remotely. Let me go to the folder. Here it is. Let me open it in a terminal. Let me enlarge the terminal. Then after that, we can say ls. You can be able to see it's already there, the file. We can run it, Python 3 remote shell.py. We don't have any error in our file. So we can be able to continue to create this Python script for remote control or remote access to any PC or laptop. uh, in this case. So the next thing we need to do is the configuration of the client and the server in which you are accessing the remote. So we can say configuration for both the client and the server. Then we can say let's host the PC that's hosting. Let's say its IP address is is 127, or the local host itself .1. So the use for this will be for testing on the local PC. But in case you are targeting the client IP, you need the IP address from the client. I can say use the local host for testing on one PC. So let's also reason in port. Let's the reason in port, which is port. We can say 65432. This one will use it for port to reason on or connect to. Yeah. The port number can of the client can be any number. So this is not the specific port number that you'll experience. So let's now try to write the server logic for us to start reasoning to that specific client connection. So we can say server logic. Then let's say define a function known as run server, run underscore server. Then we can say, let me comment out some statement. It's quite helpful. Start the server to reason for and handle one client connection. So then now let's say after defining the function run server, which will be able to call the socket for that particular client's connection, we can say with socket dot socket. We can write an argument socket is equals to all dot all period underscore inet. Then we can say socket dot sock dash underscore stream as or as s, which is the socket. Let's bind the port and the host. We can be able to say s bind bind both the socket and the host, or the port and the host, then the port. Then we can reason the s dot reason. It's quite easy. Dot reason. So far, we don't have any error, even if we learn this Python script or this Python script. We don't have any error because we have accurately printed. We are accurately following to reason to that client's connection. Then we can print and see whether we are reasoning to this port. We can say print. Let's us read from all. Let's say all period. Let's say reasoning to server, reasoning on host. Then we can say let's reason from the port. Control save, then control B. Let's run that script. Let's see. Yeah, no error so far. So far, we have started the server in which we are learning that machine. I have not used the port number of this actual machine to remotely access it. All the host itself. So right now I'm just testing it. We shall replace that as we continue. So then we need to accept a new connection, or this call blocks until a client connects. So we can say accept a new connection. Um, in this case, we can say let's connect the address. Let's say an abbreviation, that's being the address, is equals to the socket. Then the client has to accept. Then let's say call out the connect. We can say with connect. We can print. Um, okay, let me just copy this. Then I can replace instead. Um, this one I can say accepted. Accepted connection from. And then save. Then let's say let's see whether it has connected or not. So what we do is write a while loop. While true, try. Let's receive a command from the client and let's see how that works. You can say receive the command from the client. We can be able to say data is equals to connect dot receive from the port number. Let's say it's 1024. We decode to a computer readable language, which can be UTF and -8. If not, okay, wait a second. Let's say if not data, if not a readable data, we can say let's see, it's called if no data is received. If no data is received, the client has disconnected. The client has disconnected. Then let's say, let's break. It will be able to break. And after breaking, what should it do? We can say, when it finds the client is not connected and break, we can say, let's print, yes, and say, let's say, for instance, everything of it. No. Okay. Everything. Read everything from it. Received command. Let's say data. So it will read whether the client has accepted or not. Then execute the command and capture the output of it. We can say let me just say execute the command and capture the output. So let's say output is equals to result dot output should give us the result dot um, error. Then we can say let's send the output back to the client. We can say connect dot send all. We can say output dot encode UTF. This UTF is actually computer readable language, so you're telling it to read both the output and the error at the same time. Then we can say we tried to read it, then except what? Except connection or reset error. Then we can say let's print disconnected we need to do what? Let's say print client disconnected successfully, forcefully. Okay, disconnected forcefully. Then let's say break. After we do that, then now we can be able to say print we can say print oh shit, we can say print right printing. I'm going to print all, check whether the server is connected. If it is not, the server can cross after we have taken a break. If it takes a break, then it can say the server connection has closed. Let's print read it from all the data we have. Then let's say server connection closed. Then that's it. We shouldn't get any error here. Yeah, all good. So after that, now then let's now write the client's logic or the client's command prompt or the Python script in which now you get to access the client's PC remotely. So this is what we do. Let's say client logic in Python scripting. Then let's run let's define a function. Let's say define learn underscore client. Um, then let's say, okay, I use a very complicated keyboard. That's why you see I have some errors. Um, let's say start. Okay, starts the client to connect to the server and send commands. Let's say after we have created or we have defined the function learn clients. Now this is connecting to the server, the client server. We can say with socket or with socket. We can say socket dot yeah. Then we can say write an argument socket okay dot sock stream as s. Then we can say let's try one and let's say s dot connect. Sorry, s dot connect. Then we want to bind or to check the ports. We can say host port. Then after that, we can be able to to see whether it has printed. We want to see whether it has connected to the server to the right port. We can say print. Let's read from all. Then you can say to connected to server at port or you can say hosts. Then we can say okay port. Something is missing. Yeah. Yep. Then we can try to see whether it works or not and call the while loop while true. You can be able to say command is equals to input. Enter the command. Let's now try to connect to the client's PC. Enter command. Okay. Ouch. I'm trying to have a very complicated keyboard here. Then let's see. We can be able to save that. Control B. Yeah, we need to complete this. Yeah, we have not crossed this block of the while loop. Let's say while or you input the command. Let's say if command dot lower. Let's see exit. We break. So with this command, we are going to detect whether the connection is open or also already closed. So this one breaks to see whether the server is connected. It is connected to the server. The server will detect the closed connection. Then after that, so don't worry about this error. I was trying to just test it as I learn. So then we can be able to say, let's send a command to the server. To the server. And in this case, sending it to the server, you need the computer, your client, your PC should be able to read the information to the client. And these we need a readable. Computers need to read what they understand. So once again, we're going to use the command or encode that into something that's readable by the computer. Send all. Then we can be able to say command dot encode. Then we can be able to say UTF-8. Then let's do this. Let's receive the response if there is a buffer. Response received. Let me save that. You can say response is equals to s dot receive. Then we get from the port number that we had. The port number we had up here was let's put, because we don't have it now, let's say 4096 dot decode to a computer language, computer readable language, UTF, yes. Then let's say print the response. Print response. Choop choop. Print response. Okay. Okay, it is accept. So it's trying to complete, but we are not yet done. So we can say accept connection refused L. Then we can say let's print let's say connection failed. Is the server running? So we want to know whether it's still running. Then we need to run another error except exception as E. Let's say print an error card. Then it can read from that error. Something I've done. can lead from that, and we need that. Then after that, we can be able now to print disconnected from the server. You can say print can read from all. Then we can be able to say disconnected from server. Now let's see. So accept connection error refused. Try. Okay, yeah, we were crossing here. Sorry. Um, supposed to be here. Sorry. Yeah, it should run without an error at all. So you should know where you're writing the code so that you don't mistake. It was under the defined function, the run client function. So it was not, I did not press it well. So let's now do the main execution in which the server or the script can be able to operate from both the client side and the server side. And this is by executing a loop of the command. And in this command, it tells on which side to run on, whether the server or the client side. So this is what you do. You can say, let's say this is the main execution, main execution command of our Python script. So what we need to do is if underscore underscore name underscore underscore is equals to main. For those who are familiar with Python, they know this is very common, especially when you're doing a script. Then we can say if length system dot arg then let's say exclamation mark is equals to 2 is not equal to, that is 2 all. So I will explain this later. So not in the server. Then you can say client. Let's print the usage. We can say usage. Then let's print on which the server to run on. We can say let's print Python remote shell dot py for the server. Then for the client, let's copy this one and just press it here. We can change for the client. Then we can say system exit code 1. So it will exit with error code 1. If an error code were an error code, let's just leave it there the way it is. Let's just say mode is equals to system dot arg. Then we can be able to say one. Then say if mode is equals server, we can be able to say run server, run underscore server. Now we are running the server script, else if or elif mode equals client, let's run client. These are the functions. We are calling the functions that we defined. That's it. So this is it. Don't mind about this one. So because it's trying to run the entire script. And now right there you have a Python script in which you can be able to run a computer remotely. Here it is. Once you take it and open now using it, you can be able to see which one operates. Now, if I have the actual port number, this one, and the host, you should be able to connect to any PC that you may like. Thank you for joining. See you next time.